And I'm back with the final prediction for the main event of the June 27th fight night for the UFC at the Apex Center. Hooker and Poirier. I'm going to start off by talking about their skill set. So, um, Poirier, he's a guy he's pretty well rounded. What stands out about him is um, his boxing and his jiu-jitsu threat. Uh, he's got submission wins for sure. He's got finishes by TKO or knockout. Um, as far as his with his boxing, he's good with combinations. Like when he he'll throw combinations with technical punches. He sometimes he can get carried away going for the finish and just throw nothing but heat. But he usually fights behind a jab, and I mean his money punch for sure is his right hook from southpaw stance, mainly because he fights a lot of conventional fighters. But that I mean I talked about it when I predicted the fight with Habib uh, last year in September. I thought that you know Habib's got a game against anyone, but southpaws in particular, he stays away from that left hand. And the the money, the definite shot that Poirier has, the I mean his best punch is that right hook, and I saw that landing at least once on Habib, depending on how long it stayed on the feet, and it did in the second round. That usually if he can land that right hook, he can definitely land that left hand. If he starts landing, if he starts landing, then the combination's happening after that. Um, but the thing about Dan Hooker is, man, he's tall. He's tall for sure for the weight class, but definitely he's long for the weight class. And he knows how to use his reach. He knows how to fight at distance. And in this fight with Poirier, he's definitely going to have a reach advantage, height and reach advantage. And he's going to make the best of that. Since he's fighting a southpaw, he doesn't have he won't have the jab, or it's not going to be as reliable unless Poirier has lead foot dominance. Um, like I said, he fights long. He uses fakes very well naturally because he trains out of um, city kickboxing with Israel Adesanya, who is very good with fakes himself. And yeah, what I see is at distance, Poirier's going to have a hard time, especially in the first round. And as far as a complete fighter, a complete mixed martial artist, Dan Hooker, I mean, maybe not as much with the wrestling, but he's definitely a threat when it comes to submissions. Now, I don't know. I think if he attacks Poirier's neck, Poirier's going to have a few problems with that. Because, like I said, Hooker with the long reach, he um, with long arms like Hooker has, he's able to do the long arm submissions. Like if he want, like I don't know if I've seen, I don't think I've seen him do it, but you know how if you watch Nate Diaz, earlier in his career at lightweight, he would tie up a guillotine, and then he'd do it with a rear naked choke position while he's it's still a guillotine. I don't know what they call it exactly, but you know, Darce, anything like a Darce choke or whatever is going to be, if anyone's going to be attempting them, it's probably going to be Hooker if it gets to the ground. Um, but if Poirier can get on the inside, Hooker's got problems, especially because Hooker keeps his hands in front of him, but they're like they're like here, right? They're here rather than here or whatever. Especially even when he's throwing, combinations, and Hooker likes throwing the hook. Hooker likes to hook, especially with that lead left hook, and with his hand down, he opens himself to shots. I think it's gonna be a great fight. I actually I think it's probably gonna go the distance. And I think I got Hooker. I think Hooker's gonna be landing more because Poirier's got to get on the inside. I don't think Poirier's gonna be able to. Even if Poirier attempts takedowns, I think he's gonna have to deal with Hooker wrapping up on his neck with something, and he's gonna have to defend that. I think Poirier would be able to defend that anything submission wise that Hooker would attempt on him, but I think Hooker's gonna outpoint him. I think Poirier's gonna be stuck at distance a lot of the times, getting hit with shots, and yeah. All right, that's my prediction for the main event. Uh, like I said, I think it's gonna be a great fight. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Um, if you like this video, hit that like, subscribe, see what other content I got on here. I got more content on the way, especially for the first fight card on Fight Island. Um, I think that's the next card too. It would make sense. If so, then I'm gonna start putting content up about the card. Until then, we'll see you. Happy Fight Day.